It's Monday morning. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving to all
That's
of
right.
our Canadian
To all Canadians.
friends and viewers out there.
It's Thanksgiving
Hope you're
Monday.
having a nice chilled out Thanksgiving Monday.
We are.
We're just having a Monday.
We're having a
Same
nice Monday. Well, we enjoy Monday.
We do enjoy a Monday. We very, very, very much enjoy a Monday, and especially when we have new product in the house, we enjoy it even more.
Flash these on camera.
Yeah, we've just finished doing our initial review on the new TSI 2 and 3.
There's two. Where's three? Where's my favorite?
Right there, it's right there.
This is my favorite.
Look at this thing.
This thing is just so sick.
Beauty.
It's a handsome devil, this little thing. Yeah, so we just filmed initial review of those two. We'll be doing, I won't tell you which one, but one of them was very nice for me. So
Yep.
Ian's gonna do some dialing. that's gonna be right after the live.
I tell you, Bandit's always on it, isn't he?
he up
Always on it. Will the boys be wearing hoodies? Yes. Yes.
I have a hoodie. I wore it on the weekend.
Galvin green hoodie.
Galvin green hoodie. I can have
Galvin
some of
green
those too.
hoodies. Yeah, these Galvin have been making hoodies. This is probably a couple of years old. This
Oh,
one.
is it?
Yeah.
So they've been on it?
Yeah, they've been on it for a while. This is honestly they're my two favorite
That's
things that
it's
they've
great
made.
to wear.
Absolutely love wearing them.
You can wear them on and off the course.
Yes,
For your money.
I know.
Good.
It's cool. What
Some
else is going
announcements,
on?
eh?
We've got a few little things. I had to make a little list. There's that many.
Why don't you start with number one?
Start with number one. So, obviously, Autoflex has been just
A cultural phenomenon?
a cult phenomenon, no question. Unbelievable. I had a great call with one of our viewers, Tyler, on Friday, and Tyler is basically he's a polymer expert. So
Oh, yeah?
he,
Okay.
he gave me some phenomenal insights into different materials and how you can create sort of strength in sort of when there's more resistance placed on the shaft, they actually change in the resistance.
Okay, so that's sort of the thing you were talking about before.
Yeah,
Nice.
very much. So it's cool to learn more about what this could be because we actually don't know. This Korean hidden technology. So
It's very hidden.
we've been, for those, a lot of you will know, we have a list going for people who want an Autoflex
Yes.
shaft. We have a few names on that list, let's just say.
Couple.
So today will be the last day to get your name on the list for an Autoflex shaft.
Yes.
We are going to do a little online fit with it. Mike has done an incredible job of building a little fit sheet for the individual so we can get your needs for length, what adapter, what grip, what head it's going on, and we can sort of give you a little advice into how to configure that head for kind of maximum performance.
Yeah.
But if you do want an Autoflex shaft, if you do want to be part of this initial order, we will need to have your details by today.
Yeah. Info at TXG.ca.
Info at TXG.ca. Name, email address. We will contact you guys this week just to take your sort of specs and whatever it is that you need,
Perfect.
and we'll get the order in.
So good.
Second on the list,
Oh yeah. I'll
Where's
bring
the
one
boy,
up.
Luke?
I'll bring one over.
we have a giveaway, a little surprise giveaway. I think this one even shocked us.
I'm surprised.
We have a full set of P7 T-Dub irons.
A VEC box.
Look at this.
Look at this big bastard.
This is the Thanksgiving treat from us to you. From TaylorMade to us to you.
I don't know that I can do this without destroying it.
I know.
I'll open it.
You
I'll
got
open
Love that box.
Sexy box.
Love it.
Yep, good.
Got it.
Give that to you.
Okay.
Aye. As seen in our famous video,
Yeah.
the very same set, 8-piece in the box for someone.
For some lucky person.
So we'll post a separate video at
Yeah.
some point. Luke's doing some fancy close-ups
Some
of
really
it.
fancy ones, but an absolute gorgeous set.
Retail value?
Oh, high.
It's many dollars, right?
Yeah, over a couple $1,000 anyway. I forget exactly what they are, but
Not to mention they're also hard to find, right?
yeah. So a little giveaway for those coming, guys. Instagram.
Well, I'm going to post it on YouTube.
Post
also.
on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, you'll see a little that. I mean, honestly, guys, even just as a collector's item, even if they stay in your wall, this is a really special piece of kit.
So true.
You know, I wouldn't be shocked if somebody got them and never played them. I don't know if I would. Other than hitting a few shots with them or what have you. I mean,
It's fun to have in the golf room.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
That is a good giveaway. It's one of our best, actually.
It is. It really, really is. We have all the driving irons from TaylorMade. We have DHY. We have Sim UDI. We're going to do a little head-to-head with those. Lots of different things we can do. We've got P770s. We've got
long irons.
Full sets. Yeah, we've got long irons and that. So we're just going to start this. Build the perfect set series. We're going to start kind of getting into that with all the different TaylorMade irons we've got today.
There's the DHY there.
Yep.
Looks good.
The DHY is definitely a bit bigger than the Sim UDI, but I think people will be shocked with how easy that is to hit.
Yeah, it looks good at address though. I think it's definitely, it's a little kind of bulky at the back, but it reminds me of the Srixon driving iron, which is a great driving iron.
It really is.
Any other excitement? What else is going on here?
What's going on?
Where's your speed experiment? That'll be our last announcement.
Yeah. So for those of you who follow myself on Instagram, Friday night after we got finished, I went and built myself a little experiment driver. This one. Yeah. So I built a Sim 8 degree, turned it to 6 degrees with the new Diamana TB shaft, which is the 5th generation blue board.
Pured for your pleasure.
Yeah, it was pured. So 47.5 inches. Mid-size. I put a mid-size +4 on there.
Yeah.
So I was just curious, and I think I'd never seen my own ball speed above 174 a couple of times, but they were kind of odd ones.
So you beat it by a few then.
It was and it was like 172 was like a normal one, and then there was kind of 175, 176, 177s. So I started to dig into thinking about this a little bit more, and anytime I'm testing myself with the super speed sticks.
Yes.
I'm 8 miles an hour faster between the lightest green one and the next heaviest one. I think it's the blue one.
Mm-hmm.
So I started thinking, okay, let's really look at the raw components of what's at play here. Let's look at weight. Let's look at swing weight. Let's look at all this sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. And I built a different driver. So I went into the back and grabbed something a little bit different.
A freaky,
which is a little bit easier to. Obviously, Sim does have movable weight, but we don't have the customized weights for Sim, whereas I have customized weights for Maverick. So we can change the weight configuration in there. I have the Graphite Design TP4 in stiff.
In stiff too?
Yeah, in stiff. Yeah.
So 60 stiff.
Kind of Autoflex-ish in a sense of like it will have a bit of give to it. And put again a mid-sized grip in it, trying to offset the swing weight a little bit, bring the balance point a little bit higher to get the head to accelerate. I'm really curious to test these two head-to-head, see if there's speed gains and where I think they might be, and start to build this whole concept of, can max speed be playable?
Yes.
That's the whole thing. Are there gains to be had that ultimately we can make very, very playable on the golf course? Because we all know 30, 40 yards makes a
hell of a difference.
Huge difference.
That was the appeal of Autoflex to begin with, because max speed seemed playable in those videos, and it's spiked the curiosity to how else you can do that.
Yeah. So
there's some good stuff coming up this week. It's gonna be a busy day.
It's good. A busy Thanksgiving Monday.
I know. Love it.
All right, we're going to race through. We've got a bunch of supers.
Yeah, so quick announcement while you're listening. Do us a favor. We're obviously going to grab all these supers. I intended to turn supers off today just because I wanted to give everyone a chance.
Today was going to be a super chat free.
I couldn't figure out the settings.
Live.
So that being said, yes, we'll grab all these. But if you don't mind, throw questions in, but just don't throw any more supers in because I want to give a little more of kind of a fair shake to everybody.
We want to give it a fair shake. So the last super that we will be accepting will be Ken Gardner.
And Ken, you need to put your question in, by the way.
Ken, anything after Ken Gardner, guys, we're just going to be a normal chat. So just please don't.
I'm going to put it up on the screen actually because people are going to tune in late.
Yeah, please.
If you could scroll back up to the top and we'll start. I'm just going to put this little message up. Stand by.
Yeah. Okay, Brian Minot, Can you speak to the importance of iron shaft weight? You seem to have issues with timing, using DG 105s in your 93 miles an hour. It's purely that, Brian. It's a timing issue. So 105, and you swing your 7 iron above PGA Tour average. Those guys are swinging or they have 130 gram, whether it's Project X, whether it's Dynamic Gold, Modus, whatever, they're kind of 125 to 130 in weight. So you're well under what I would consider the appropriate weight for somebody of your swing speed. Obviously, timing, as we said, is a big element of that. So if you do tend to change the plane, you might be short and fast in transition, all those sorts of things. You're going to use that weight to create your timing and ultimately deliver the club based on that. So that's the importance of shaft weight. Obviously, as well, the heavier something is, the more material there is in it. That's how it becomes heavier. So it becomes stiffer as a result of that. So generally a little bit stiffer. So you need heavier and stiffer by the sounds of it.
Which usually go together, which is easier.
They normally do, yeah. So I would say 105 stiff, maybe going up to the 130 X100s and that sort of thing might be a bit of a stretch. So maybe something Project X65, 125 in weight would be a nice way to get into that.
Smashing. All right. From Dave. Dave has the weight in his Sim 10.5 in the heel to help close the face. Good idea. Am I losing any performance not having the weight behind the center of the face? You will definitely have an opinion on this.
No, you're not losing anything on that. So obviously in rotation it's going to have an effect, but we also want it to shift that CG a little bit.
This is a max. I was going to use this. I didn't know you made the max. This is a max.
I don't know. That was Mikey's one.
Mikey's,
yeah, I was using.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Dave's probably asking. I know you've had some really interesting comments about putting the weight behind this strike.
Strike point.
So
for maximum stability. Yeah.
Is getting the face square more important than that in this case?
It is, yeah. Face is always obviously king, but I think the one thing is when we're shifting, the reason we and other manufacturers call it a CG shifter is if you hit it in the toe and you're still hitting it a little bit blocky right, if we shift that CG into the heel, we can encourage more gear effect by shifting the CG away from the strike.
Right.
So, right. Even if it's not necessarily behind the strike, we can encourage the gear effect to work more in our favor if it's not already doing so. So I
love that.
Yeah.
It's really cool how those weights work. It's better than to say it's not just as simple as moving it for face angle. It's actually better because there's so many different things you can do with it.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
Definitely.
All right. From username TUFPH. Okay. Having issues getting to my lead side with the woods. No problem with my long and short irons. I'm playing a 45 1/4 driver and a standard 3-wood. Okay. So would club length and weight hinder me from moving to my front side? Interesting question. Yeah. People tend to struggle a little bit when they get into longer clubs. Hanging back, is that what we're talking about? I guess we're hanging back with the woods.
Length would certainly do it.
Shorter?
Yeah. Length definitely could give someone the feeling of kind of being a little bit kind of having the club stuck behind them. It's that kind of concept of how the club influences the delivery, isn't it? Can we influence you to deliver the club differently by giving you, a different club? Yeah, absolutely we can.
Nice.
But I don't think we can say specifically why. I think we'd need to see your swing, unfortunately, in order to see why that is. Is it a path and angle of attack thing? Is it something where you're not launching it correctly, so you're trying to create launch through staying back, you're shifting that weight relative to what you're trying to get your ball flight to do. Okay. Without knowing really anything about your swing, it is very difficult to specify what is doing. But to answer your question, absolutely, those clubs could be stopping you getting to that lead side.
Gotcha. I know it's more of an iron drill, but that drill that you had Mikey doing that I asked you about with the foam roller, if someone wants to work on their angle of attack, I'm assuming that will bleed into the driver also.
Definitely, yeah.
Did you post that on your Instagram?
No.
Okay.
I think
I mean, it's pretty simple. You basically you could put a head cover, off your trail or your trail foot
Yeah.
to encourage your path to get a little steeper.
Yeah, try and just shift that swing direction a little
Yeah.
bit more left in order to manage the sweet spot. I think for people who get the CG or get the sweet spot traveling too much to the right, getting the kind of the club to steepen slightly and get the path moving a little bit more left.
Makes sense.
It's such a good thing for that player who hangs back and gets a little bit stuck.
Perfect. Okay, well that's a swing tip and a fitting tip for you.
We've got Corbin here. Corbin has a set of Mizuno MP18 MMC. No, it's a fly high 2-iron.
Oh.
An MMC fly high 2-iron.
Maybe just mixed up.
Just a fly high, yeah. With Caesar Bullet. Any suggestions for a shaft with a stiffer tip?
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, lots and lots of shafts with stiffer tip sections than that.
Where'd you grab that one from? Was that from?
Yeah, I think that was the next one after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, you go ahead. I just want to put it on the screen for people so they can hear.
Something with a stiffer tip. If you have some serious speed, I would look at Ventus, the new Ventus hybrid line. You could look at. I mean, if you really move it, if you're Matty boy quick, obviously the black could be phenomenal. But if you're kind of a little bit on the smoother side, or no, it's slower side because you're smooth and quick. But if you're a little bit on the slower side, maybe the Ventus Blue might be a great option.
Still probably one of the best clubs I've ever had. That one you built for me.
Yeah, still enjoying it.
Excited for that new Callaway
I know.
driving iron.
Yeah.
Some leaked photos of it.
Yeah.
Not leaked by us, but leaked by somebody.
Sneaky, they're out there.
It looks smashing. Okay.
They are out there.
I'm
So
going
yeah, try those. Graphite design, maybe
Graphite
DI
design.
as well. Tensy white, we always seem to give a mention to when we talk about those. Tensy orange even. Figure out what weight you want it in, and that will maybe help your decision as well.
Nice. Perfect.
Okay.
Jonathan, I know you were worried we weren't going to get your super, but I found it, so don't worry. Ian, can Mizuno 921s be comboed with Hot Metal Pro long irons, forged mid irons, tour short irons?
Yeah. Jonathan, this is exactly why we're discussing this little series that we've got going on of building the ultimate set.
Yeah.
Obviously a player's delivery. So if we want to use, the steep player, for example, slightly steep, better players, they tend to do very well with their short irons. They'll kind of drive them in fairly low. They'll get that shaft leaning forward, de-loft them, and you've got lots of loft to start with. So they still perform great. But when you have that same swings, if you don't make any modifications to those long iron swings, the reduction in loft with those long irons as CG isn't really all that progressive in an iron because of obviously the shallow depth of it. It's very hard to get that ball to kind of launch nice and high. So that's where you might need to look at a different set. So you might need to look beyond just the things you can do within an iron head. It might be something where it has a little dive board face action.
Because those are hollow, the Hot Metal Pro.
Yeah, something like that. So it's the right thing to do for sure.
Yeah, that sounds like a great
comboing
set.
those up.
So Jonathan's a plus, same handicap
plus
as me
one
right now,
and-
actually.
Yeah. Driver swing speed at 105.
Yeah,
so
he's got some speed.
Decent speed, but something in the long irons where you don't have that kind of elite speed to propel the ball to be really, really high.
It's a really good point. Like my 4-iron, I can hit very high.
Yeah.
And it is a bit progressive, but it's not quite that big. But I do think I swing my 4-iron like 105 miles an hour or something, or whatever it would be, or 100. No, my 6-iron is about 98.
I was thinking wonder if you'd be faster than that, but you'll be at least 105. Yeah.
So it makes sense. I do understand what you're saying. It's like unless you are delivering a ton of dynamic loft, which you don't want to as a good player.
Yeah.
That extra head contribution makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I have a friend I play with. He's a +1 or 2, extremely good player. He got a set of MMCs, but he got the HMB 4-iron. He hits the HMB 4-iron like it's towering. Like he hits it higher than I can hit like a 9-iron, and it goes really far. So he's a prime example. Like it's just a great idea to try that.
Yeah.
Tasty.
Justin has an Al de la Rogue white 130 stiffened driver and 3-wood. Money tapers in his irons, looking for hybrid shafts. Okay, so you're in the smooth category when it comes to that. I would go straight for a graphite design DI 85S, straight in there. Smooth as a baby's bum. Lovely feel, and it'll kind of match what you've kind of got going on there. Really, really nice. Ventus Blue as well, hybrid shaft that just came out. Super, super smooth and stable.
It is.
Both of those would be 1 and 2 in my choices for you, Justin.
Love it. Joe is asking about new merch in the TXG shop. Joe, it is coming. I will be spending many hours on that this week, so don't worry.
Love it.
And there's some hot stuff coming, let me tell you.
Love it.
Hot as hell.
Grant has been fitted to 921 Hot Metal Pros with Recoil EXS 460 F3. Okay. 7 iron, 106 ball speed, 14 launch, 39. Launch and spin too low.
14 degrees.
Yeah, it's on the low side, Grant, for sure.
It's going to be like a 60-foot ball or something.
Yeah. I mean, you could order lofts. You could have a look at your golf ball choice.
That's a great point.
I'd love to know what golf ball you used. I'd love to know what you used, obviously, in your fit. Was it a range ball? Was it a specific golf ball? RBX Tour would always spring to mind for someone like yourself. Bridgestone Tour BXS, Pro V1X. All those balls that are fast, launch high and spin high would be great. But weekend and lofts would also help you a little bit with that.
A combination of both, even
A little
maybe.
combo of both. 7 iron speed, 106 ball speed. Trying to think, that's a 65 gram shaft. Yeah, a little bit on the weak side, but speed has a lot to do with that launch and spin as well. Speed has a bearing on both of those things. So I would say if you get into the right golf ball, Grant, I think you could really start to get those numbers nice. Probably achieve, with the Tour BXS, you could certainly be in the 5,000s with your spin. And that would give you tons of stopping
So
power.
that would completely change his flight.
Completely. Yeah.
For the low price of 1 box of balls. Quick one here. Jordan's asking if we're going to compare TSI to TS. Yes, we are, Jordan. We're going to do that probably after lunch today.
Yes.
For your viewing pleasure on Thursday, my friend.
Definitely.
I got the next one ready for you here, pal. From David, yeah?
Yes. Where's Dave? There he is.
Oh, David. Okay, S18.
Lovely.
Okay, yeah. Just
Would you
a wedge shaft question. Good question. It's a great wedge for a gap wedge. I wish they still made that, to be honest. I think I would have ordered one.
Would you really?
100%. In my gap wedge? I don't see why not.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great
Juno,
shape.
make that again. Make an S20. Are you listening?
I'm sure it will be.
Make it in left hand, more importantly.
Would you recommend swapping out the DG? Yeah, I like...
Sorry, this is the funniest shit ever. Andrew, you beauty. Andrew says, super chat because you can't stop me. I can't.
That's funny.
You're a beauty.
That's funny.
Beer's on you, Andrew. That's really funny.
Yes, gap wedge shafts, I really like it to match the iron set. So if you play Modus 120X in there, yes, absolutely. Even though you'll use it for both full and shots around the green, I think it's more likely to be predominantly used for those yardages you have, whatever the next yardage is beyond your pitching wedge or short on your pitching wedge. I think you'll use it for that. So
true.
Then when it comes to the Modus 120, you could do the 125. You could do 120 changes in weight quite a lot. That's the tricky thing with Modus 120. So
you got to cut that stuff out.
Yeah, you're going from the 120X at 120 grams to the 120S at 114. So I wouldn't be advising going I would soft step the 120X's 9 iron shaft in the sand wedge, 8 iron shaft in the lob wedge.
That's why people tune in right there. For that stuff.
Okay.
Gregory.
Gregory.
Oh, Gregory. Your video on set wedge versus specialty wedge was great. Thank you. Wondering if you will do a follow-up to compare performance. Yeah, I would love to do another video on that. To be honest with you, I'd love to do it selfishly because I wouldn't mind seeing if there's some sort of like, what would you call it? Like a progressive specialty wedge that I might end up throwing in my 50. But yeah, Gregory, I think that's a great idea. We're willing to do it.
Do you know how rattled people got on that Instagram video I done with, because there's some days if I'm wearing a certain top, right, and it can be like Trotty's hatred of a quarter zip.
Right.
A quarter zip and a collared shirt do not go well together.
Very few do.
Like they kind of make your collar sit out, and it feels like I feel like it's choking me.
Do this
This
one of
feels
these.
horrible, right?
Have I
So
died?
normally, if I'm wearing like a quarter zip like this, like I'll just put a t-shirt on under it.
Aye.
So when I was hitting balls the other day, I had whatever top I had on, and I was roasted. It was
Yes.
really, really warm. So I took it off, and the amount of people that messaged me going, "I'm not comfortable with you wearing a t-shirt hitting balls." I'm like, what? So Zachary says he's glad that I'm back in a collar.
That's hilarious. People don't like change.
They don't like change.
Ian's a real person. Sometimes he wears different shirts.
My feelings.
Also, the right shirt could be worth another mile an hour. Who knows?
Yeah, it was definitely worth some speed, guys.
That's so funny.
Actually,
The
Galvin
modernization.
Green one, that's actually worth a few extra miles
Worth
an hour.
100 miles an hour.
100.
Worth every penny. That's hilarious. Do you have Autoflex mortgage payments? Probably should. They're not cheap.
I mean, we may have to have a discussion with Autoflex and
Take whatever you need.
the influence of a TXG video, and we might need
know.
to see if there's a little giveaway in amongst all that.
They should send us one for a giveaway.
100%.
Because I was going to
they
say,
should.
I'm down to give one away, but I don't want to give. We only have one.
I know.
So if let's throw this out here live, because then it's
If.
you can't reverse this. If Dumina, Korean Hidden
Yeah.
Technology
Mhm.
Incorporated, is willing to send us a shaft for giveaway,
Yeah.
we would love to give one away.
We would love to.
How's that? How's that for a promise?
We will message them today and say,
I don't see
"Please,
why
sir."
they wouldn't. I know. Please, sir, I want
Please,
some
sir.
more. They will
That would be
probably
great.
say yes. They've been very nice so
that
far.
would be great.
Okay, Joshua. Joshua tends to miss it a little heel and high. That's interesting. Heel strike and high in the face.
I would say that of the 4 quadrants in the head,
The most rare.
that would be the most rare.
Okay, so we got to help Joshua.
Yeah, I would say high toe, low heel. Not many low toes out there either, but high heel is a rare beast.
You're rare, Joshua. You're rare.
Rare. Weight moving into the toes and a little bit steep. That's what does that.
Good advice. What's the driver then? G410.
Honestly, don't fit your driver to the miss.
That's good advice.
Fix the miss.
Aye.
That's the answer to that
Great
one.
advice.
If you're a little bit high toe or a little bit low, there's things to manage. High heel is not one to manage, and low toe is also not one to manage.
That's a good point.
The whole reason TaylorMade made twist face, because from high
like this,
toe down
right?
to low heel in that diagonal fashion is very manageable on that axis. The other way is not. No one's engineering a driver to be any good in the high heel
No
or
one's
any
doing
good
that.
in the low toe.
They're all high. Actually, we saw the AI face, and you're right. It was
Yeah.
more like that.
Yes.
I'm using the wrong color thing,
Yeah.
but you get the idea.
Yeah. So Joshua, I wouldn't be honestly trying to give you a driver that makes that one better.
I think that's fair. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Stand a shade closer to the ball. Bring your weight into your heels a little bit more. Offset the amount that you want to tip forward. The tipping forward is a reaction to something. So if you can take a little half step forward, put your weight into your heels and feel like you keep your weight back a little bit more, you should be able to change that strike pattern towards the toe a little bit more.
Lovely advice. I think people would, their reaction to be get further away from it, so that's good.
Yeah.
You're definitely,
Yeah,
you're
they
definitely
would
onto
be.
something there.
And that's a great point, because when people hit it in the toe, they're like, oh, take a little half step away. Well, what's causing you to kind of tilt and bring your weight onto your toes? You're basically saying, do more of that.
That's so true.
You know,
Make it worse is what
Make
you're
it
saying.
worse. Effectively, ingrain it even more. Make it a bigger problem.
That is so true. All right, Scott. I'm at Scott next. I answered this super. I just answered in text because it was easy. Fire us an email.
Beautiful.
And from Scott, Scott is asking, can you compare the Fuji Pro 115 Tour Spec iron to a Ventus hybrid?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, so they're similar on the spec sheet, but the Fuji Pro is way cheaper. Gotcha. Is that one
Can you
do?
compare them?
You do a little work with that Fuji Pro? They're not on the wall, I know
No, we don't have them in the wall. Can you compare them? They're similar on the spec sheet, but a quarter of the price. Different materials, obviously. Compare them. Without having the Fuji Pro on the wall, it really is hard to compare them, because
fair.
we don't have the feedback to give you. It's this or it's that. If it's similar on the spec sheet and it's cheaper, it's worth a punt.
Yeah, that's
it's
fair.
worth a try.
If it's a low-cost experiment.
Yeah.
A Ventus is not a low-cost experiment,
No.
although you could probably sell it after.
So if it's similar on the EI curves, now I wouldn't I wouldn't imagine there even are too many EI comparisons out there of those two, because Ventus Hybrid is so new.
That's true. It takes a while for those companies to
on
profile
S3
them.
or anything like that. I wouldn't even expect those to be on there and have them to make them comparable yet. Scott, I would just say if it's somewhat similar, but if it's going into a driving iron or whatever it's going into,
Sounds like it would be a driving iron.
yeah, give it a little try.
Yeah.
Give it a little try. It'll be fine. It's not, but I don't think they'll be that comparable. Is kind of where I guess.
No, I think that's completely fair. Completely fair. All right. From there was a sorry. I wanted to take something really quick, but TSI reviews Thursday, guys. I've seen that a few times. Thursday's the day. Probably 9 a.m. Eastern Standard.
Yeah.
The Clutchman.
Catch a quick one here. Ian Matty, do you think an Autoflex shaft would work with a Ping Raptor mini driver? That's one of the things I'm really, really, really cautious about this experiment that people want to have for yourselves.
Yes.
Is that you put Autoflex in there and maybe you go, I play my driver at 44.5 or 44. The driver would be, I think, so different. I think the whole idea
defeats the purpose.
Yeah, I think
saying that.
Yeah, I think if you want to play or experiment with a little over length, if you want to play it between 45.5 and 46.5, somewhere in that window, I think that's where you'll probably get the most out of this type of shaft.
Yeah, the longer it got, the better it was, I thought. The 46.5 one was the one that had all the magic in it.
That's right. That's exactly, yeah. Because the first time we tried it, we went 46.
Yeah, and it was obviously really
good.
But it didn't get, it certainly
true.
got more speed at half-inch long.
Very, very true.
Guys, I'm seeing more supers come in. Hold the bus on those.
Yeah.
Hold the bus.
Hold the bus.
From the Clutchman, 32. Lads, I've got an Epic Flash Sub-Zero 9 degree with a hazardous smoke yellow. Okay, 45.5 inches, 44.5 inches, pardon me. Okay, tend to hook it left or push right. Drivers are, yep. Tend to push it left or hook right. So it's probably a fairly in-out path. Some face variation kind of thing. The two-way miss.
Sorry.
Put it back up there for you. It's coming.
Yeah.
There you go.
Tend to hook left or push right drivers, or do really need advice
speed
on shafts? I think one of your problems is probably that you've cut a counterbalance shaft short. So high balance point and you've went 44.5. So
that's a great little
I think
grab there.
that might be one of your issues, that you've kind of lost your feel for where the head is based on that. So there are better products than others when you want to go short. That wouldn't be one of the good ones out there.
Great point.
Yeah. So I would sort of go take a look at some of those lower balance point shafts, and like I think we alluded to this last week, even the need to go short, probably tells me that you probably need to go for a driver fit and see if you can get back, into something at standard length. And now, if
that's a good point.
Shorter players, that like to play shorter drivers, fine if that's in proportion with kind of your physical dimensions, but I think you have to be very mindful of the products or the parts that you use when you do that. So
to not throw off the balance of it.
Yeah, go with a little bit more weight, a little lower balance point, all those sorts of things.
Fantastic advice. Yeah. I was just going to tell him that his swing needs some work.
Work in your swing.
CJ saying he missed the Autoflex announcement. So CJ, if you're interested, today's last day to order one.
Yeah.
info@txg.ca, and we'll get back to you. Basically,
we've been running a list for about 10 days now of orders for people who are interested. The list is significant. So we want to make sure we get everyone's specs this week. So we've got an online order form created by Mike that will ask you questions on your ball flight, your length you play it, what OEM sleeve is going on there, what head it's going into. We want to know about the settings, etc., grip size and preference, all those sorts of things. So there will be a little online fit that goes with the order of the Autoflex shaft. But and there's a few different versions, so we want to make sure we order you the right one.
There's also a rainbow color version. Just if you weren't aware of that, there's a rainbow version that is something to behold.
And there's also hot pink.
Hot pink. Okay, so we're in the nice little gap. So we're going to grab a bunch of questions now, guys.
Love it.
Non-supers.
Non-supers.
This is a good one from Gray about the Arcos podcast, which is good. Should I hold off for the next generation? Are most of the upgrades going to be through software, not sensors? Yeah. I think so. The current generation built-in grip and the link, the updates are going to be through the app.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'd go for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Gray, don't delay. The time is now.
Kier, my friend Tim has a 40 mile an hour swing speed. What would you suggest? Take up a new sport. Poor Tim.
Kier, that's not very nice.
Poor
Does Tim
Tim.
like golf?
Tim maybe loves the game.
Take up
Tim,
a new sport.
we're speaking to you, Tim.
Savage.
Savagery by your friend Kier.
funny.
Your former friend Kier.
Former friend, yeah.
Super speed golf is the future for you,
great
my
idea.
man Tim. Get into those, sticks. Get swinging. You'll get that club head speed nice and high, and you'll get more enjoyment out of the game.
Yeah, go nuts. Yep. Yep. All good.
Yeah. Super speed golf, Tim.
That's a great
Go on
advice. Yep. And play the appropriate tees.
Yes.
You'll have a good time.
Jerry is having trouble spinning his irons lately. Is it a problem even if his angle descent is well above 45?
Huh. Interesting question.
Yeah, it depends on obviously, we would expect your angle of descent to be well above 45 because they're spinning, so obviously the ball's rising, so you can play with the lofts a little bit, you can look at golf ball choice. Those would be probably the first two places. Try not to overthink that, unless you're in completely the wrong shaft, but a little subtle tweak to shaft's really not going to do it. So loft, getting them stronger, and the golf ball choice will be your two things, Jerry.
Smashing. Okay. Just going to dive in here.
Aye.
Going to dive in. This is probably a really easy one for you. Zach says he swings the driver 120 mile an hour.
Mm-hmm.
X-Flex iron shafts.
Yes.
Has to be yes.
Has to be.
Zach, that's a yes.
Yeah, because you'll probably be around the 102 mark with your 6 iron. So
Yeah, that's.
I would have been recommending you to get into X-Flex around 92 to 94. So that ship has sailed 10 miles an hour ago.
Yeah, good point.
So-
110 swing speed driver is kind of the breaking point.
Yeah.
Is that about right?
Yeah.
Go for
Benoit
it.
is
You got one
asking,
ready?
any plans for Galvin Green merch? Yes.
Benoit, you are
absolutely.
clairvoyant.
Absolutely.
Working on it this week,
We
pal?
are working on it this week. We have some Galvin merch coming on very, very soon.
Coming in hot with a new logo.
Yeah.
Sexy. All right, this is a good one. Tim. Another Tim. Hopefully, Tim, you're not the one that was getting hosed for 40 mile an hour swing speeds. Oh, no, you're not. He's just below PGA average. Okay, so Tim is basically very shallow with his irons and hybrids. He's around 0. If I improve my AOA through practice, should I expect to see increased spin rates and height? Great question.
If the
Do you want an iron or anything? Or are you good?
that's fine. So here is my chopsticks. No, here's angle of attack and here's launch. Right now, so there's your angle of attack, so 0, level with the ground. There's the loft pointed. If you keep that relationship the same, so say you take your 0 angle attack and you get steeper, but the relationship of the angle attack to the loft stays the same.
Aye.
You will not spin it more and you will not hit it higher. In actual fact, you'll hit it lower. That
true.
gap has to change. So if that goes down, we have to make sure that comes up in order to increase the spin loft window in order to create the launch and spin. The launch is going to react off of the club face, right? So of that spin loft plane,
Here you go.
right? So we're
So we
going to
make a diagram.
Yeah, so we're going to have the launch angle sitting right in here, just slightly below the dynamic loft.
Gotcha.
Okay, and then
So dynamic
yeah.
loft. If he's leaning it and down,
Exactly.
that thing's going nowhere.
yeah, go nowhere. Not a good scenario. So make sure if you're trying to do that, make sure if you get steeper, you're also managing that dynamic loft number. So even if your dynamic loft stayed the same as what it is right now, but the angle of attack got steeper, yes, you will not increase your launch per se, because that is obviously a reaction to the dynamic loft, but you will increase the spin.
Yeah, perfect. Very well said. Jody's excited for the TSI, so are we. I will warn you that the G425 is not coming anytime soon. We have no definite date on when we're allowed to review it, and it's not exactly in the near future. So.
Well, I heard a little rumor it might be getting moved up slightly.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, that's good news.
Yeah.
It's news to me. It was originally going to be like December, wasn't it? January.
And beyond.
Was it?
February. Yep.
Hence why I was so sour.
Yep. So.
Okay. Well, I hope it gets moved up.
I know. I think everyone's. Well, you know, you
it's
see.
out there, man.
Tyrrell Hatton won with it at the weekend.
No, it's like, what are you waiting on?
You know, and
Big Al's reviewed it.
Big Al's hit it. Yep. If you want to see a G425 review.
Go watch it on Al's channel for sure.
Alex Etches, go and see the big man. He's hit it and reviewed it.
He did the woods
and the
too.
irons. Yep. So
he did do the irons too.
Yeah.
Good
So
point.
he's kind of the first look at it.
He has, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I know I keep bringing this up a lot, but I know it's one of your favorites. Kenneth is asking, is there any downside to playing the D-type sim if you're not a person who hits a slice?
Zero. Yeah. I love the D-type.
Such a good driver.
Deeper head, and a little more upright.
What is that?
Mr. Bestie Tube. Galvin Green and an Autoflex collab.
What would they collab on?
A Galvin Green and hot pink. That's what it would need to be. I actually wore that in the Mizuno giveaway. Remember
that's right.
That was the Autoflex top. That was the Autoflex top. That's effectively what that shaft is.
We should get it logoed with the Autoflex emoji that I made. The pink robot.
Funny.
That'd be hilarious. Pink robot Galvin Green quarter zip. And we'll send it to Trotty. He has to wear it. Yeah, fine then. I'll take a couple easy. I'll take a couple.
There it is. Look at
there he is. Yeah, well, you got some heat for that too. There's Autoflex. What video was this?
That was the Mizuno. That was when we had
show
Mike.
There he is in his hop.
There is the Auto.
How close is that color?
Guys. Look at that. Oh,
dude,
what a match.
That's a Pantone. Have I died?
That's the Galvin Green Autoflex combo.
Wow. Well, Mr. Bestie Tube, you're more perceptive than I gave you credit for because that's spot on. Oh, and I broke it.
Yeah.
Sorry, TaylorMade. Okay. That's funny. All right. Jamie. Jamie sounds like he's asking, do you need clubs bent flatter if I often hit a push?
What if I need clubs flatter but often hit a push?
So he's asking about the dynamic lie versus ball flight.
So Jamie, you sound like you are the typical candidate who's been for a fit and had a lie board, and you've seen marks on the club and the heel. So you've kind of been making some heel contacts, but your face is open. The reality is, making those clubs flatter will just make your ball flight worse.
Aye.
You got to pick your poison. What do you want? Do you want better marks on the sole of your club, or do you want a straighter ball flight?
That's a great point. We had our video about it. It's called "Does the Lie Board Lie?" If you want to find out that it does lie.
It does. It's so much hoodie chat today. What about the whole hoodie debate?
Hoodies are hot right now.
Hat?
It's not a debate.
It's
Calm
not a debate.
down. If you don't like hoodies, relax.
I'm wearing a hoodie.
If you don't like pink, don't wear pink. If you don't like hoodies, don't wear hoodies.
This is my fall attire. This is my default when it gets cool here.
I'm gonna wear my Adidas one next time, and then we're gonna break the internet. Everyone's gonna freak out because two guys are wearing hoodies hitting golf balls. God help us all. The game's going to hell. Batten down the hatches. Hide your clubs. Quit your club. Golf's going to hell. Relax.
I know.
Oh, and what a mystery. How come young people don't want to get into golf? Because you're all crusty old grumps. Honestly.
We love a hoodie. We wear the hoodies. We love them.
That's the Big Bertha fusion of this week.
That's
calm down.
I know. What was the other one we were chatting about earlier? We were chatting about the debate. It's not really a debate. It was Matt Fitzpatrick's take on Bryson's speed, and
that's not a debate either.
That is not a debate. Speed is a skill.
Of course it is.
It is a skill. What was that definition again?
It's very clear cut. The definition of skill, as provided by Google, the ability to do something well, semicolon.
Yeah.
Expertise.
So if your ability to do something well can be improved to do it better, it is absolutely a skill.
Yes,
Matt Fitzpatrick does not have the same physical attributes gifted to him at birth that Bryson had. But Bryson also, I bet when Fitzpatrick hits his best drive, and the Bryson who came on the PGA Tour to start with, I bet it wasn't that far apart. What Bryson has done has taken and harnessed the, all of the learnings that around speed acquisition, and he's turned himself into, just someone who can do something that others really can't.
And
that
why
is a skill. That
and
must
why,
be the definition.
It is the definition. And why pick on him? Cameron Champ has the same ball speed basically,
Absolutely.
and he's had it since like college.
Definitely.
And he hasn't. I don't know. You're gonna say Cameron Champ with a perfect technical Sean Foley?
Cam Champ, yep. Mm-hmm.
Not to give him credit, but
Yep,
obviously
yeah.
they work together.
Yeah,
He's technically fantastic swing. Rhythm is beautiful. He looks like he's just smoothing them 190. How is that not a skill? Like, explain to me what a skill is. Matthew, you should take that back, and no one will be upset with you.
We think you should take that back.
I think you should take it back, and people will say, no problem.
Absolutely. Your ability to putt is unbelievable, and it's a skill.
It's a skill.
It is a skill.
I rant over.
Anyway.
This is a great and easy one from this person.
I'm going to go right to the bottom.
Yeah, do. Any tips for switching between driver and iron swings? We do. Google TXG, driver versus iron swing. Click, watch, enjoy, like, subscribe, follow, share. Anything else?
Nope.
Live.
Would you add an extension to Autoflex to max out to 48 inches? And I would never add an extension to anything.
Can you build it to 48?
No, I think you can build it to 47 and a half, right around there, so close enough. But I wouldn't be adding an extension.
Agree.
Yeah.
$1,100 and then you throw a blank extension in it.
Mm-hmm. This is a good one, really good one. Derek Ryan, can you explain fitting of combo set with just a 6-iron?
Great question.
Really, really good question.
Hi.
If it's all about understanding what the head is capable of. So if you know that you have an iron where the CG is progressive, it gets lower, the face, potentially a little bit wider as well, so we can pull that CG deep and far back. You have the ability then to create more launch, and that's where obviously utility irons and things like that, you have a little bit more. P770, the face is able to flex a little bit more. That is going to give you more launch from that dive board effect. The fact that the contact with the ball will cause the head to propel the ball higher, things like that. So if we see somebody who with the 6-iron has ideal sort of delivery conditions, dynamic loft and angle of attack, etc., we know that will very likely be the other side of that 6-iron, be absolutely fine. If we see someone who, like the golfer we talked about earlier, who squeezes it a little bit, doesn't create spin naturally, even if you give them more spin, it doesn't mean the ball will necessarily go higher, because often we see higher spinning shots go lower. Because the friction pulls it down.
I'm going to flash this on the screen for Cameron, because you're answering this question as you go. Keep going.
So we have to make sure we have either the right delivery in place or the right clubs in place for that. So it's all about our analysis of your delivery and what it's likely to do either side of that 6-iron. And the great thing with the amount of testing that we've done and experience that we have is we've been wrong in the past. We've been wrong about certain combo sets and this and that, and the ability to gain knowledge is through being wrong, and being right at the same time. So we've learned from that. So we just have enough knowledge to know when and to pick our moments to do combo sets, etc.
Yeah, no, I think that's well said. Quick one is interesting from Jacob. Jacob's asking if you think Titleist would ever produce a 5-piece ball like TaylorMade does. So would Pro V1 something ever be a 5-piece ball? Maybe a concept ball, maybe a ball they've never even made yet?
I think at this point they probably have made 5-piece golf balls and potentially beyond.
Beyond, do you think?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Prototypes.
What's the that's the thing. Like, what is, because the layers as we see when we cut those golf balls open, they can be really thin layers. They can be really deep layers.
That's a good
so
point.
you can make an 8 layer golf ball that progressively changes. So if you went micro thin on those layers, depending on the amount of compression, you could get different reactions to that golf ball based on what layer what level of compression you get. So if you with the driver you compress down to into those deeper layers, the firmer mantle inside could give you the feeling of more speed and a slightly firmer driver. But when you have more loft and you apply less compression, you're only maybe getting 2 or 3 layers deep in that compression and potentially get a softer feel. And then you can get a little bit of a hybrid ball.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good point. I mean, it is interesting that you say you probably think they've done it.
Yeah.
And if it was performing better than the 4-piece and 3-piece, you'd see it.
Yeah.
As long as it's not cost
absolutely
irrelevant, right?
Yeah. But I mean, Titleist has more R&D on golf balls than probably every other company combined.
That's a good point.
You could literally add every other company, and they still wouldn't come close to what Titleist have in terms of patents and R&D and just knowledge on the golf ball. So I think that's what has made them the industry leader forever.
Yeah,
forever, for as long as I've been in golf. That's
thought-provoking question. It's good.
Whisker's got a good question. Would you ever add heads to the fitting matrix beyond a 6-iron, or is there no advantage? No, it's not so much that, Whisker. It's the 110 iron shafts you see behind us have to be, duplicated again. So if you had 9-iron shafts, and we would need to slim our demo matrix down.
You need 4 of these behind us.
Yeah, you potentially you'd end up needing 330 iron shafts in order to basically do the same thing. So it's not really possible, and it's one of those things. I don't think that's a weak spot in the club fitting industry right now. I think there are many weak spots in it, and there's things that we would like to change, but I don't think that's one of them. One thing I will say is any of them new modern heads that the loft is so strong, we use 7-iron heads.
Right,
so
that's a good point.
If the 6-iron is 25 degrees, we no longer use those heads as 6-iron heads in the matrix. We just go to the 7.
Like a T400 in the drawers, a 7-iron
Maverick,
or something.
Max, those types of heads. So we would just go with 7s, because generally the player who needs that head, we tend to find that they have less irons anyway. So a 6-iron is normally a long iron for them, because the longest is probably a 5 or a 6.
Good point.
So we use the 7 for those players.
Like fitting off a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. And actually, a few people asked that, so it's good. Glad you did that. Wyatt, I think I can answer this for Wyatt. I think he means left dash Pro V1.
Right.
No, I just think it's regular Pro V1. I think it's just a dash.
Yeah.
He wants more ball speed than Pro V1 standard. That's possible. Yep. I don't think it's a ton, but you could get a bit more out of a firmer ball.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
Not much, though.
Not too much. I wouldn't be expecting to see anything too crazy. But if you like the 2020 Pro V1 and its low spin characteristics or lower spin characteristics, you're going to end up having to sacrifice a little something. So
100%.
What most people love about the Pro V1 is the feel from the soft, the soft core. You could go left dash Pro V1 and it also has low spin, but it feels very, very firm off the face. So, it's those little trade-offs.
Yeah, no, that's very good.
Jojo, who's going to win the Masters? Jojo. Would you bet against Bryson at this point?
No, I think I don't know if he'll be my number one pick, but I think he'll contend. I think he'll be a top 10 contender for sure. He could easily win. If I had to pick someone, boy, that's tough. You got someone on the tip of your tongue?
No, I don't think there's a. I mean, if you had to push me to pick someone to win it, I would be really comfortable saying Bryce. I mean, he lost. Was he in the playoff yesterday?
I didn't see.
No, he was up there anyway.
Oh, he was, okay.
He was certainly up there anyway.
It's going to be an open. I think it'll be one of the more open Masters that's been recent.
Jojo reckons Rory for the Grand
I'd
Slam.
love to see Rory win. I don't know.
I think we all would. I mean,
I'd love to see him win.
I just don't know. I think I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
I just hope it doesn't become Mickelson's US Open for Rory. Where he has a bunch of top 5s and things like that. Just time goes on, and the questions are always asked. And
every year, right?
The window shortens, yeah. But the one thing I will say in Rory's favour is he's going to have 2 cracks at it in 6 months.
That's big. Great. Yeah, you'll never be more familiar with it than this coming spring.
Yeah.
Plus, he just had a little baby, and he's kind of settled down his home life. Who knows? That stuff seems to help some guys.
Some Matt Will shouts right in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet against him either.
I mean, DJ is always good around. He was 1 shot behind. I think he finished T2.
Yeah, he was. Finau would be a good choice.
Great.
I mean, Molinari may come back for some vengeance.
He's fallen off since that Masters.
I think that really. I mean, I would assume what
Yeah.
occurred probably messed with him a bit because it was unfortunate.
He was playing so well. I mean, obviously
He
won
had
at Carnoustie and then
Yeah.
swing around, and he was playing so good.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Xander. Sorry,
Xander,
Joe. That's a good.
yeah.
Yeah, Xander. I think
Xander's a great
Xander's
shout.
becoming one of my favorite players. I really like watching.
So you're gonna look at DJ will have a sniff. Xander will definitely be there. Patrick Cantlay has a phenomenal game for Augusta. Phenomenal.
Everyone's favorite Patrick Reed will also probably have.
He'll probably
a good
play there
chance.
as good. Yeah, Bryson.
Yeah, Bryson hitting a draw too. So many of those holes are great
Honestly, like he seems like, and I think if there's one golf course, because you only ever play that one golf course.
for him. Yes.
If there was ever a golf course for a formula to be made, that is the golf course for formula to be made. And I
Agreed.
think that's what Bryson's really working on with this new driver. So he in his head said, beyond 320, Augusta opens up. So he's trying to hit it beyond 320 yards into the 370 range.
He already is.
Which he already is. And like you can start doing that, then okay, you can hit hole 2 and 2 every time.
Yeah.
You can drive number 3 every single time.
True.
If you can hit it up on top of 5 and hit a short iron in there, I mean, think of Tiger.
I
Tiger
know.
bogeyed that hole every single day
I
when
know.
he won in
It's a
19.
waste. Yeah.
So length is an advantage, although the rough is not Pinot. So
But it's sight lines, right? Like
Yeah.
length is the advantage, but Bryson is capable of hitting it really straight.
know,
So like
I know.
the straight and long comparison,
Yeah.
Patrick Reed. I'm just saying because it's true. He does have a chance. Patrick Reed did
yeah,
win one.
well, he has one. He
You
goes
may not
to
have
that,
wanted him to, but he won.
He goes to that dinner every
I
year.
know. He chose a menu.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. 3 weeks? 4 weeks? 5?
For 4 weeks, yeah. I think
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
12th.
It's got to be, November something. I'm going to take this quickly for Spanglish Golf. Left-handed player pushing the ball left. How do I fix it? Spanglish Golf, you're going to look at the video we did a couple weeks ago called
Wrist angles.
How to Hit a Draw was the title, but it's
Yeah.
a wrist angle video. Stand by. It's one of my favorites. We don't come up on the search for How to Hit a Draw.
What?
Rick
There
Shields
he
is first.
there he is. How dare you?
What a surprise.
Who knows that guy?
You can watch Rick's video also, but here we are. Learn how to hit a draw.
Watch ours first.
There's my mug. Learn how to hit a draw from us, Spanglish. Chef recommends, because I was hitting a dirty old push for quite some time as a left-handed player, and that has fixed it very, very quickly. Chef recommends. To you, lad. A few more. Let's take a few more. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. We've probably answered 15, 20 non-supers. I hope you're appreciating it. We're enjoying it also.
Let's see.
Pal Anthony there was shouting us out. Anthony, good to see you. Who's Rick Shields?
I know. Rick, who?
Oh, just a guy with a bajillion subscribers.
What causes a golf shot to be affected by the wind?
Great question.
Is it more so spin or is it height? Thanks,
Such
guys.
a good question.
So it's a great question. Yeah, but I mean, certainly both of those things. If you have excessive spin on the golf ball, yes, it will be, the miss will be significantly increased by the wind. But if you, and that's why you can be steep and hit it a little bit spinny and not really hit it offline though.
Yeah,
Right?
that's a good point.
So it's both. It's both of those things. If you ever go and play, in somewhere it's super windy, Scotland or Ireland, you won't typically see people hitting it with kind of low launch, low spin. They're going to probably be lower launch and kind of mid spin.
Because it's very hard to hit a ball with low launch and low spin.
Definitely.
It's quite a...
Definitely.
One thing I've noticed,
Yeah.
which I was talking to you about earlier, you know what helps playing in the wind? Hitting the ball solid.
The most important thing.
God, it really helps.
The most important
God, it
thing.
helps. It really does.
Chase is asking for any good cheap iron sets that you'd recommend trying to stay under $800 for 5 to pitch and wedge. So Haywood, sub 70, new level. Those would be the three.
Absolutely.
That we,
Yeah, for a nice new set of custom build irons.
Yeah. Or you can wait until next year and get something like a Z785, a Z585. You'll probably be able to pick those up for around $800, maybe even less. So
The used market, right?
That's another thing. Hogan, yeah, great. Khaki Man's mentioned Hogan.
Khaki
Love
Man?
those.
Yeah, I agree. Hogan would be a
Yeah.
great choice. Actually, one of the best ones for sure.
Yeah.
In our opinion. Wilson's not going to be $800, I don't think.
I don't
JP.
think so.
I could be wrong. Could be
I
wrong.
think so, yeah. We've not seen some Wilson product in a while.
No.
Not-
Well, the sexy blades, I don't think they'd be under $800.
no,
I think
no, I don't think
they should be closer to $1,000.
Yeah.
Could be wrong.
Has Ian slipped the X Hot back into the bag? He has not.
That's
no.
good to know.
I broke it, didn't I? I told you. I didn't break it. I pulled it apart.
Yeah. You put,
So
when
I-
you
yeah.
told me that you took the shaft out,
Yeah.
the look I gave you, I was like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah,
I did not think you would do that.
It's
So good.
what's it always, if you have that driver in your bag, I think I've mentioned this a few times. If you have that club in your bag that is just, you always keep going back to it. The best thing you can do is put it over your knee.
Yeah, because then you have
Put
no
it over your
option.
knee. Break it.
That's hilarious.
Smash it. Give it away. Get it out your sight. Don't give it away because then you'll ask for it back. That amount of
point.
time people do that.
There's a lot.
Break it. Yeah.
Destroy it.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Let's grab a few more, and then we will.
PXG best bang for buck, no cap.
Pardon?
I'm not sure what that means, but I'm not sure they are best bang for anyone's buck.
No, that's not true.
I definitely wouldn't say
Maybe
that.
if you have the discount, maybe,
Yeah.
but I doubt it. Why are we working on a holiday mat? Because we like it.
'Cause
Also,
we love it.
holidays are canceled this year, so we're enjoying ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get this from Sword Pete. Sword Pete, this is not something we've tested, but what are some benefits of an arm lock putter? We should do that. We should do that.
Yeah.
I'm curious about it. To
I
be
mean,
honest.
I've tried it.
What do you think?
Horrendous. I
Okay.
hate it.
I also
I
couldn't
just-
get comfortable.
no,
I tried it once,
no.
but I thought it was guys are doing it though.
Yeah. It's even with belly putters for me. I remember trying a
the
belly
same
putter
thing.
and going, what is going on?
It's the same. It's if you used a belly putter and they banned it. So you okay, Luke? That wasn't you. It was just a club. Yeah. If you used a belly putter and they banned it, you use an arm lock
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Basically, right? It's happened to Kuchar, by the way. I haven't seen Kuchar on a
I know,
leaderboard in
I know.
ages. He going.
Yeah. Alex is asking, question from a fitter. Do you guys consider numbers with irons and wedges off turf in the studio any differently than grass outdoors in a
question.
fit? Our boy Phil Mickelson.
That is the best.
Wasn't that great? Validation for the value of that.
Go to Phil Mickelson's Instagram.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how many posts old it is. I thought it was great. I put it on our story because I thought it was really smart.
Alex, what you really want to do if you are a fitter and that sort of thing, you're going to want to do your own due diligence on this. And with the mat that you fit off of, you're going to want to go and you're going to want to get a sample size indoors off your mat, and you're going to want to go outside and hit some balls on the turf, and you're going to want to test your turf. And this is what we have done. We tested our turf versus our synthetic turf versus grass to find out where we lay in terms of launch and spin. You're going to want to do the same thing, because ultimately, not all indoor synthetic grasses are created equal. So you're going to have thicker ones that allow the club to go deeper, strike higher up the face, raise the launch, lower the spin. You're going to have ones that are very, very thin in pile, and you're going to hit it low in the head. It's going to tilt the head forward. It's going to launch lower, and it's going to gear up. Yeah. Those ones will obviously be very, very different. And then there's obviously a load in between. So you just need to see whatever yours does in relation to turf to know how you need to then fit off of that.
Great point. I think people forget that there's different grass too. Like, how can you just say grass is better? Because what if you 100%. Have soft turf, firm turf, sandy turf, muddy turf? Consistency. I'm going to take this really quick. The Clutchman. You both know more than any coach. I've worked in the Orlando area. The Clutchman. You should go see Tyler McGee.
Our boy T. McGee.
MMG Golf Performance at
Orange County
National.
Yep.
He's not the only coach, but Tyler's extremely good. Ian is the other lead coach there. Also
Ian Meller.
Excellente. Yep. Yep. Your namesake.
Yep.
Good guys and extremely smart.
Josh is asking, Ian, will you be working out of the Mississauga location more often?
Aye.
Basically 100% of the time as it is now. So yeah, I'm at the Mississauga location Tuesday through Friday.
Smashing. I'm taking this Rogue Super here. Rogue. Gaming an old Aldila Rip. Oh. In a TS3. What newer shaft would you recommend with similar specs? This is your favorite kind of question. Can I answer for you?
Please.
If the Rip is working well, why would you want something that's the same? And if it isn't working well, why would you want something that's the same?
Yeah.
However, what's new from Aldila? Rogue 130 MSI is the new sexy stuff?
I just wish nostalgia wasn't a thing in golf clubs.
I have to say, I'm proud of you because you used to be a lot, and when I say used to, I've only known you 3 years, but you used to be a lot more nostalgic with clubs, a little more like superstitious, a little bit more attached, like emotional attachment to clubs. You have definitely become super like performance, and you're always that way with customers, but you've become that way for yourself, which I think is great. Because the hybrid's a prime example. The fact that you ripped the shaft out is a big step. But that's kind of like what we're talking about here. It's like, that I'm sure you hit some memorable shots with that rip phenom, and you want to replicate it, but why replicate it? Just keep it if it's working well.
Go find something better. That's all I would say. Just go find something.
It doesn't have to be an Aldola, does it?
Yeah.
It could be anything.
Could be anything, and you'll never. From when Rip Phenom came out,
So old.
there are so many better options than that particular one out there. I mean, it was a pretty soft shaft anyway. I was never a fan of the Phenom.
Do you remember who had a Rip Phenom?
Yeah, I remember you had a Rip Phenom.
This dummy did. The look on your face, you're like, it's actually kind of like not very stiff, not very stable. You got it in like a 60X.
What, you had a 70X, it was super
Oh, did I?
short. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And I also,
Super short
I butchered
70X,
it also.
Yeah. Too funny.
It was a hot fit from Rich. Rich said his sim had a rattle. He pulled the shaft and a white plastic piece came out. Any ideas what it is or what to do? Also found a crack on the bottom of the weight track. It's a rare one. I haven't heard any of that at all. Thank you.
White
What
piece
would
of
white plastic be
plastic.
from the innards? Speed foam?
A white piece of plastic. No, speed foam would be
Is
that.
pink?
Just wonder sometimes. No, because that would be inside the sleeve. I mean, no idea what's. I've never actually seen the inside of a sim.
I haven't either.
Normally Callaway are the ones that. Yeah. Tigers, Mundos, rat glue. Rat glue is not white and plastic. It's kind of yellowy and obviously very.
Do you think
dewy.
you know how the speed injected face has the screws and there's housings? Maybe like the washers could be plastic. Something there, maybe.
Something perhaps. But
I mean, just
not
return it to
entirely sure.
TaylorMade and
Yeah,
they'll give you a
yeah,
new one. That's the. Rich, I'm sure they're very good about warranty,
Yes.
so don't worry about it. 2 more.
Thoughts on puring, frequency matching?
Yes. You have news.
Love both of those things. Love both of those things.
So funny.
Yeah, get ready to see some SST pure videos
This is great.
very soon.
I love this.
Yep.
I wish someone would make a compilation of every single time we've ever talked about SST pure,
I know.
and then cap it off in culmination, which will
Yep.
be coming soon
Coming soon.
to a TXG near you.
Yeah, stay tuned on the SST one.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. I would say if you don't follow us on Instagram, follow us on
Yes,
Instagram
follow
because
us
you
on
will
Instagram.
see some SST related things in the next week.
I love it. I love it. We can talk about it next Monday.
We can.
God knows.
We can.
One more. Your choice.
John is asking, Matty boy, will you be getting some TXG head covers with the new logo or just some current cameos?
I think it just means like
Camos.
whatever.
So it's meant to be just camouflage?
I'll tell you what, John. I will be getting every single thing that we make in the new logo. I will be a proud owner of. I will have head covers.
Yeah.
I will have a bag. I will have metal work.
Yep.
Ball markers. I'll have it all. I'll have a shirt. I'm gonna have everything. Every damn bit of it.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Okay, guys, what are we on? 11:40. Yeah.
Aye.
Awesome. Timing's good. We've
good.
got a tattoo, Ross. Yeah, you get a tattoo. 3D printed hats. Yeah. Iron covers, Yemen. Not a chance.
Aaron Rye.
Not a chance.
We will not be producing iron covers.
I told Yemen the other day, Iron Rye's a puddle jumper for.
What's that
using
mean?
those. Means when you're a wee boy, the wee boys that dodge the puddles, and the wee boys that run through the puddles. He's just the one that keeps everything clean and pristine.
Yes, he's very
That's-
particular about
yes.
his stuff. Yeah, I have friends like that too.
Yep.
Very particular.
Puring comes up in every live. It does.
It's part of the tradition.
Who would like a test on tees? Who wants us to test brush tees,
Great point.
stinger tees,
Yeah.
the influence of tees? Who wants that?
I
Let
think
us know.
that's a good idea.
I think it'd be interesting
I kinda
to
wanna know.
try a bunch of different things.
Please answer my question.
Please, if you ever want a question answered, do not put in caps, please answer my question. That is literally the last thing that we will...
It will probably cause your question to never be answered.
It will not be answered,
because there's so many. Sam, yes, TS3 versus TSI3 will be on our list in the next, it won't maybe be this week, but it'll be in the next couple weeks for sure. Any other speed ones you want to get? Golf gloves are coming, yes, Charlie, don't worry. Phil, you should sign up for Instagram just for TXG, absolutely. Don't follow anyone else, just us, maybe your friends.
Ian versus Matt match play loser gets a new logo tramp stamp. That would be hilarious.
Jason, go straight for the jugular with the tramp stamp.
Please test tees, mostly marketing BS. Yeah, I think that would be...
I'm sure it is mostly crap.
Interesting. So April had a great suggestion last night.
Good.
That we play a round and we do it for charity and we get donations. So I've got to wear a different hat on every single hole. So I've got to wear, I've got to play 18
hats.
holes, 18 holes with a hat on. Now, I detest hats. For those of you who don't know, I do detest a hat. I'll never wear a hat. I'll never be seen in a hat. I hate a hat. But potentially have your logo. We could do a little hole sponsorship on the hat. We'll have your logo on the hat for a hole.
And give
the money to charity. Yes.
I'll tell you what, I think that's a great idea. Yeah. Did she have anything for me though? Because I'm afraid.
No, she didn't, but I did. I think it would have to be.
I'm a little more afraid of what
it's got to be related to the beard. I mean, that's what
I don't think this can come off. My wedding's gonna get canceled if I shave my beard. Be single.
No.
Single, looking like an idiot too.
When's Lindsay's next trip away? When's she away for business or something?
She's
got to be a time period where she literally
won't see me.
Yeah, she leaves, you have a beard. She comes back, you have a beard.
And I'll just tell her not to watch videos for a little while.
Yeah.
Well, she'll see this eventually, and she'll chime in.
Yeah.
That's I really like your idea. Make me shave part of my beard after each hole.
That would be nasty.
Listen, people.
That wouldn't it be awesome to see just like the 18 beards of Matty, right? So we start off and we go goatee, right?
Yeah, first this comes off.
Yes, and we play like 3 holes. And then we go like handlebar stash. And then we go into that would be world class.
A pencil stoosh, perhaps?
World class.
Well,
anyway, there's something in this. And
I do like the hat thing for charity. I like that it's for charity.
Yes.
I like that.
We do like that. We do. All right. Mutton chops.
Soul patch. Yeah, those used to be. You ever have a soul patch?
No.
Good for you.
What is that?
Glad to hear that. Just this. It was popular before I was even old enough to grow a beard, but people had just this little piece here.
Right.
It was a big 0.
Not a fan.
0. Seed golf balls are still coming. A few people have asked that. They're in the mail. Nice. Good live.
Very good live. Tons of
hot
questions.
Streak with lives.
Yeah, we next time. I think next time we do a live, our intentions were for this to be a non-super chat live, but
we did most of it.
We did. We got past the first kind of 20 minutes, and then obviously there was still a few. But I think we would like to start getting into a few more, maybe every other one is a non-super chat or something like that.
I mean, I don't mind being fully transparent. Obviously, super chats help support the channel financially, but the reality is it enough to really matter? We don't know. So let's experiment with it. We just ultimately the live is fun because we like answering people's questions. We like chatting.
And I kind of like the format of when it's a bit more like random and that we're not always looking up and down and we're trying to.
It's because we can pick the questions that we think will be interesting for more people. You know what I mean? So
Rick is quickly asking there what to expect when changing grip sizes. We have multiple videos on that, Rick.
We have 2 or 3.
Jumbo Max. Go to Jumbo Max grips. I think, what was the one called? Is it pitting grip size?
Influence of grip size is at least one of them.
Yeah.
There's a Gears one, and then there's the Jumbo Max one too.
Yes. Randy is saying, Ian, you don't like a hat. What do you think of a hoodie?
He likes them.
I love a hoodie. I'm wearing a hoodie.
Hoodies are hot.
Love a hoodie.
My goodness.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to take a few sips of protein shake, and then we're going to fit a TSI 3 driver. Oh, I let the cat out of the bag. Sorry. It's the TSI 3 that we're fitting, not the 2.
Yes.
For watching, you get to know what it's going to be. How's that? How's that for a reward? That's what we have to offer you.
Definitely.
Anything
Yeah,
else?
really impressed with
yeah.
with the TSI stuff. Really impressed.
They are smashing. Yeah.
I think that would be in most people's list of what to try when going into a fitting store over the next little while.
Are you interested in trying it for yourself? The 3? Does it catch your eye?
Yeah, I'd be interested in trying it. Yeah.
It's got a lot of the stuff you like. It's got the heel and toe adjustability that you like.
Yeah.
It's got the spin profile you like. It's
I know.
got the look that I think you might like.
Definitely. It's just again, like what I always say, like as much as I'm an advocate of performance, I always say to people, once you find it and you find that performance kind of just letting it be and just that sort of thing. I'm curious if we need to do a refit shaft, a refit on my driver shaft though.
Okay, because
Just
last week you were
yeah.
happy with it, but now maybe
But
not.
I think there's something in this working on the speed to get it to 170 plus on the regular.
Agree.
And there's no doubt about it. That M4 Plus will not be the most consistent option for me at that point.
Good point.
So
Yeah, look into something maybe a little on the firmer profile, X-Flex range.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So I see a couple of Autoflexes. Guys, if you're interested in Autoflex, last time we'll say it, if you are interested in an Autoflex, if you would like to order, not even if you're interested, if you want to order one.
Don't just email if you're interested.
Yeah,
We're all
if you
interested.
want to order one, there are a list of people who are ordering them. info@TXG with your name and your details. We will be ordering them tomorrow. Okay, or tomorrow will be the cut-off, and then we will be sending out the list to that group of people for all the questions we have. So.
And just keep in mind, they're not perpetually for sale because Ian and Mikey have come up with a nice system to properly give you some guidance and install it properly with the right tip and stuff. So it's not just a bulk buy, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yep.
At least 2, JK. You're asking about how many TSI vids? At least 2. TBD, but at least 2.
Well, there'll be the review video, there'll be the comparison video, and there'll be the fit video.
Yeah,
that'll most likely be the ones we do in totality, but they might not all come this week.
Yeah, I want to say I may do the initial and the fit on Thursday, and I may save the head-to-head for next week.
Yeah, definitely. Quick one for Tyler, because I've seen him put this in a few times. Advice for new fitters, any mistakes, or good advice from your early days. I would say, Tyler, that always be willing to be wrong. Don't always think that you kind of know everything that we all always learn. One of the things that I love about a Monday is this is our R&D time, and learn new things all the time. So always know that. If you're heading in a certain direction with a fit, and what you think is the fix is not working, do a 180 and go the other way, right? And
don't be afraid. Like, is it a pride thing? Sometimes people are like, I don't want to seem like I.
It can be, yeah. Like shafts, for example. You're giving someone stiff shafts and in order to lower spin, and it's not doing it. Well, what's happening is not what you think is happening then. Yeah. So you've got to go the other direction, because normally, the opposite will give you the desired reaction. That's definitely it. Don't ever hesitate to let someone walk out the bay with the clubs they walked in with. That's another thing. I think fitters almost feel like they've not done their job if they don't beat what the person had. If you've done a good job in the fit and all it does is it equals what they brought in, fine. Yeah. That's peace of mind for them, and they can come back later down the line. But never sell just for the sake of trying to sell something, because trust me, those clubs will come right back at you. The customer will leave with expectations. It's kind of like, all those stories we've all heard about fitters who, tune up their bays till the ball goes further. You're setting yourself up for failure, because the minute those clubs don't do that out in the real world, then they're going to be back at you going, yeah, you said it was going to go 270 yards and I'm back to 240. Why is that?
Yes.
Well, it's because you set the altitude on 5,000 and 90 degrees, and the fairway is like a runway.
And that's why we always try to tell everyone what conditions we use. You always say we're at 540 feet elevation, because that's what we are, and the conditions are normal. Because it's like, if you're not transparent, honest, and consistent, you're not going to be sustainable. You may sell a bunch of stuff and then the bubble will burst. Everyone will be like, you are a sham and a scam artist, and no one's going to go to you. So
that is exactly it. You have to, you have to back up what you deliver in the fit. It has to be. You have to know that when that player leaves that bay, you have to be 100% certain what even if they're not, even if the person isn't certain, and that happens all the time, you have to be certain that is going to be the right result.
Yeah, no doubts.
Yeah. Alrighty. TXG, who is typing the replies?
I am.
Matty Boy's typing.
This is a laptop.
Yeah. Yeah. This is.
I try to fire a few in if I see a quick, easy one. So.
Exactly. All right, guys, we will love you and leave you. How much difference does 540 feet of elevation make versus sea level, i.e. Florida?
Not much.
Very, very little.
A couple yards at most.
Very, very little. Yeah, I don't really find when I travel down to Florida, I actually find that generally speaking, the heat offsets the
great point.
The altitude difference.
Absolutely, it would.
I actually find that the ball travels slightly further in the warmer, humid climate than it does up here because of that.
Definitely.
Hey.
Smash.
Okay, guys, have a great day.
Yes.
We will see you next Monday. Lots of great stuff coming this week. Stay tuned for some Instagram announcements and different things coming this week.
Absolutely.
If you don't follow us on Instagram @theofficialTXG, go do that now, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, we'll see you next week.
All right, have a great week, guys.